Hello everyone. So last time we spoke about the deep devotion of the Rashbi to the statutes of the Torah, to teaching Torah, and that to the extent that it was able to nullify a drought, and that the rains came down immediately upon teaching from the verse chapter 133 in Psalms, verse 1. Hine matov u'manayim sheva sachim gam yachad. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brothers also to dwell together. So we're going to focus on the pact between brothers. And in the continuation, God willing, we'll discuss more about the rectification of Esau, because Esau, the brother of Jacob, wants to be rectified, which means the rectification of universities and the Western culture, the natural sciences, and we're hopefully discuss a little bit about the rectification of game theory. That Esau wants to have these chaotic lights rectified, be brought into rectified vessels. So when we speak about a pact, so first of all it says gam yachad, also together. So gam is can also mean like the third partner in a marriage, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem, the Holy One, blessed be He. That we said that in a rectified marriage, a face-to-face marriage with proper communication, that there's nothing that can get in between, meaning the snake, but that what should be between is the Shekhinah, the divine presence, and this is the indwelling presence. This is Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It says that so the word for man in Hebrew is ish, and the word for woman is isha. And without, God forbid, without Yud Keh, without HaKadosh Baruch Hu, without God, there's only fire. Only fire remains. So we want peace in the home, not God forbid marital strife between husband and wife. So it's to have God as the third partner, so that guarantees if the Shekhinah is present, then there's peace in the home. Okay. So we want that the blessing should come down and be revealed, like rain falling and coming into the ground and sprouting forth the produce. And the most important pact of brotherhood is Moses and Aaron, and the third part of that was Miriam, and through in her merit, the water came about in the desert. So Moses and Aaron gave us the Torah, and the water came about the merit of Miriam. And we said that, so we have to, with full devotion, progress in the commandments of God. And another we're going to explain how this we're going to bring down the revelations, the blessing, God willing, through a teaching Torah. So there's another pact is to the two brothers of Issachar and Zevulun. That Zevulun was the seafarer, and he had a connection to this world, to the physical world, to Gashmias, which physicality, which is has the two-letter root of also gam. So we're talking about gam also. So the two-letter root. So to bring down the geshem, which is also has gimel mem to it, and the shin is geshem. So that's could also stand for rock. Shin equals 300, and reish kuf equals also 300. So rock means only. So only to bring down only material blessing through, which is the unification of our spiritual efforts and the result of our devotion to God and His Torah, and to the observance of mitzvahs, to walking in His ways. So you need both types of souls, right? So Zevulun is grounded in physicality, and he's a seafarer dealing with commerce. And Issachar is in spirituality. He's sitting all day learning Torah. And according to Sefer Yetzirah, so the book of Kabbalah attributed to Abraham. So the month that corresponds to Yisachar, the tribe of Yisachar, is Iyar, which is the month of Lag BaOmer, of the inner dimension of the Torah, which is the sense of the tribe of the sense of the month of Iyar is the sense of thought. And then in Sivan, the giving of the revealed Torah, the giving of the Torah on Mount Sinai, is corresponds to the tribe of Zevulun, which is progress. When we talk about progress, it's also it's a partnership. It's the progress, but it's also we need both. That in the heaven and in the higher level of understanding, Issachar is the giver and Zevulun is the receiver. So we learn a lot of laws, especially relating to the calendar, from the tribe of Issachar. But in the material realm, so Zevulun is the giver. He's giving tzedakah. He's sustaining physically his brother, the tribe of Yisachar. Okay. So we're going to talk about the effort of a tzaddik that is bringing down this material blessing. So if we see about how this is from the Talmud, how the manna fell in the desert. The manna would fall in such a way that the righteous would find it at the doors of their tents. The average people had to go out of the camp to gather what fell there, and the wicked had to go far out to find their portions. Additionally, for the righteous, it fell ready to eat, similar to baked bread. For the average person, it fell as unbaked cakes, requiring minimal preparation. And for the wicked, it came in an unprocessed form, and consequently, they had to grind it in a mill. So, the righteous, through their effort in serving God, it brings about, this is a clear example of bringing about ready material abundance. So we're going to just appreciate this some more. Is related again to Lag BaOmer, to this encounter of the Rashbi, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, teaching these words of Torah based on this verse in Psalms, and it brings about material abundance. So the sages describe that the heavens contain 7 firmaments, corresponding to the 7 lower sphirot, divine channels, and knowledge. The 3rd firmament from below is called Shechakim, literally meaning stone grinders. It corresponds to the spirit of victory and acknowledgement together, and is considered the spiritual source of the manna that the Jewish people ate during their 40 years in the desert. So we didn't say it before, but Moses and Aaron also correspond to these two spheres of victory and acknowledgement. So we talk about in the merit of this brother pact between Moses and Aaron, we merited to receive the Torah. Like two stones that grind wheat, victory and acknowledgement produce fine grain, fine bits of matter. So the power that unifies them indeed gives the power to measure, divide, or just resolve things into smaller and smaller bits. Just as manna has to be ground into small bits, it can be fed one at a time. The act of measurement requires the ability to resolve something into its smallest individual parts, and by doing so, give each quanta reality. So, talking about this also relates to as we discussed last time about Sfiras Omer, the counting of the Omer, and Sphira is counting. It also means to shine. It also means to like a sapphire stone, and so with every counting, like the Sophrim, who were the Sophrim? They treasured every letter of the Torah. It's like they were counting treasures, right? And who's known as the tzaddik in the Torah? The consummate tzaddik, called Yosef Tzaddik, because he expended maximal effort in the service of God, and he dealt with very small. He was able to apportion very small pieces of grain. So if we abstract these storehouses of grain, it's the ability that even the smallest portion of reality, smallest quanta, and specifically now we're talking about in our learning of Torah, that we can explain everything, connect everything in the world, and delve deeply into Torah for the sake of through our deep devotion to Torah, to use it in our service of Hashem. So I'm going to link to this. It continues on discussing about the ability that we learn from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai of the resolving power of the inner dimension of the Torah, to explain the smallest particle of Torah and help us appreciate it. And the more we connect with Kabbalah and Chassidus, the inner soul of the Torah, the more we get a sense that that's the smallest of the small counts just as much as the biggest of the big. And all this is through our dedication and the observance of halachos, the laws of the Torah. We're called walkers, like Zevulun. It's his sense of Zevulun is the walker, and this is the resolving power associated with victory. Between victory and acknowledgement, the dividing and resolving power is associated with victory, while acknowledgement represents the material that is being divided and resolved into smaller and smaller bits. And that Lag BaOmer is the day of acknowledgement within an acknowledgement, Hod Shebahod. So it's resolving reality into smaller and smaller bits. Why is this important? Well, that every aspect of, like we said, every aspect of creation, we want to connect it to God, and we also want to see the results of every aspect of creation. We mentioned game theory, chaos theory. So if we can take this chaotic example of a butterfly flapping its wings in one side of the world, and tornado or tidal waves in the other side of the world. So if we can say, okay, so we can explain that according to Torah, no problem. I mean, to our devotion and our heartfelt ambition. Speaking of heart, so this is on my own. So heart is, lave is 32. So what's the average number of times we're told to chew food? It's 32 times. So just something. So we want to elevate the sparks, like when we chew food, to have in mind to elevate the sparks. And for a tzaddik, every like for Joseph, every grain serves a purpose. Everything in creation serves a purpose. And not, God forbid, to waste anything. To waste something also means not to just, God forbid, view something as random, or not. We should utilize, wherever possible, everything in the service of God. And so when we talk about the unity between brothers, so what happens when we have two opposite souls, like Cain and Abel? Right? Cain is Gevurah, his soul root is one of severity, and Abel, Hevel, is one of loving kindness. So it's about recognizing and appreciating their origin in Chava and Eve and their mother. So too with Jacob and Esau to see their origin in Rebecca and their mother Rebecca. And so we want goodness to come down. We want the rain, the physical abundance, Geshem should come down, and it says to join with fire. So it's like the fire is like the Rashbi, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. We light a bonfire in Lag BaOmer. So we to unify fire and water is like through like in that very story of the Rashbi, a very encounter of teaching through the fiery teachings of the inner dimension of Torah to bring down physical abundance. So it's like the unification of fire and water, the blessing and rain to the world. So when we say that if we merit, Mashiach comes on a cloud, so we can understand that like manifesting a cloud is like a rain cloud, like manifesting rain, and we merit that the rainfall should be the rainfall of Mashiach. What does that mean? Is that in order to bring Mashiach, we need a lot of physical abundance. We need physical resources to spread the word, to establish a Torah university, to rectify Esau, like we said, Esau wants to be rectified, and so you need a nice building, you need teachers, and have a whole to promote it, and to it could be online. Now online universities are more popular, but it needs to be, people need to hear about it, and it needs to be professionally done. So that's just one example. A thing that to bring Mashiach takes money, and to rectify Esau, people expect when they look at choose which university to apply to, should have a nice website and some good well designed things, and so that's like the vessel of this world, is something that people are used to. So that's like Mashiach coming on a cloud. So it should be the rainfall that finally it should be immediately so that there should be enough money to make all our good dreams about spreading the inner dimension of the Torah a reality. It's on the merit of the Rosh being, God willing, through our devotion to the Torah, most essentially to Kadosh Baruch Hu. The tzaddik of the generation connects us, specifically the tzaddik that is the foremost in teaching the inner dimension of the Torah. So connects us to God and inspires us and encourages us to be courageous in our service of God. Okay, I think. So we talked about, so there's 7 firmaments, and the third from the bottom is Shechakim, the millstones. It's our experience of God calling us by name and giving us a mission to perform on earth. So God willing, we'll continue on this theme of fulfilling our mission, which is to bring Mashiach now.